Hey, welcome back, guys. This is Skepdicks, your favorite podcast about weird stuff and us being skeptical or not skeptical of that weird stuff. This is episode 14, and we're here to talk about the Mandela Effect. So, you've probably heard of it, but right off the get go, what do you guys understand about the Mandela Effect, Tom?
Mandela Effect. I mean, I've heard some things about it. The main ones are like Berenstain Bears, obviously. Uh, the actual like Mandela Effect, like where the name came from Nelson Mandela. I remember hearing about that one. Not being informed about it, but hearing about it. Fruit Loops, Fruit of the Loom. Like just like more pop culture ones.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're all easily explainable. I'm kind of skeptical about it.
Cool. How would you rate it? One to seven.
First, I would like to say I've
Well, let's
taken a
get-
slight hiatus from the podcast, and thank you for welcoming back. I did make an honest woman out of late podcast guest Jennifer. So
Ghost Lady? Is that who it is?
What?
That's who it is, Tom. That is
Lady?
indeed.
Wait, that was her? That was the girl you married?
Yeah, saw her on the podcast. I saw the YouTube comments. Not a fan, and so I'll be looking for you, whoever that was. She did have my child, so I thought I should put a ring on it, I guess. But anyway, back, happy to be here. But yes, same familiarity as Tom. But I also come from a place of having the world's worst memory. So both sides of the Mandela Effect equally make sense to me. Whichever side of it you show me first is the one that I think is the one I remember. And then the other is the one that I'm like, oh, what? That's not the way it is. Like, I barely ever remember the other.
Okay.
And like you said, like the Mandela Effect, it comes from everyone thinking that Nelson Mandela died in prison in like 1980, right?
Something like that, yeah.
That's like the most popular example. And the Fruit of the Loom is like everyone pictures it with the cornucopia behind it.
Yeah. Yeah. Classic examples.
What are some of the other like more popular ones?
Sinbad. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Shazam.
The Shazam, Kazam, Monocle on Mr. Peanut. Or yeah, no, on the Monopoly guy, you're right. Bunch of brand related things and icon image related things.
Berenstain Bears.
Spellings.
That's the one that like really got me. That's like one of the ones where
that one's messed up, man. Yeah.
I think that one just stems from people pronouncing it wrong. I mean, you just read it like Berenstain. So in our heads we say it like it's spelled with an E.
Got a very specific idea about where that pronunciation came from myself. I want to apologize for failing to acknowledge that, yeah, friggin' Josh got married in the interim. Congratulations, dude. We attended a beautiful wedding in Meadow Vista, California. Tom gave the best man speech I've ever heard, despite not being the best man. It was a good time. It was good stuff.
A co-best man.
Co-best man.
Who I've been saying was going to be my best man since he was born, basically.
That's awesome.
There was a girl in front of me. There was.
In the groomsmen lineup, there was literally a woman who was a groomsman ahead of Tom.
I had very little to do with the procession, which is what that is called. The order in which people were lined up was made by Jen, who had everyone in line with how she wanted her lineup to go. And so, because...
Which was probably a hotness scale. Which I'll gladly take 3.
Yes, you are third to Faith. The hotness scale.
All right.
No, I love it.
Yes. So
Brady's speech was awesome too. I thought I heard Brady say something about being nervous, or someone say something about him being nervous or something like that. But he went up there and killed it. Thought his was
Yeah,
awesome.
he wasn't very nervous. He has to speak often on his baseball team. So
Oh, okay. Okay.
I give him the out of not having to do a speech. He's like, no, I think I'd like to.
Nice. That's
All
awesome.
right, man. There's going to be like 120 people in the room, so go ahead.
Yeah.
It was about.
I thought Brady probably should have gone first.
Why?
I think
So
in retrospect, it would have gave me a little time to calm my tears after Brady's speech, because his was like a little more emotional for me.
nice.
And then Tom's would have made me laugh, and because then I spoke after both of them, and I was a little still emotional after Brady, so that would have been better.
What was funny was Josh kind of tipped me off beforehand. I was like, hey, I got like 6 minutes ready. And he's like, oh, whoa, okay. No. Like, like, no, we're trying to keep things moving. Okay, yeah, I'll trim it down. Like rehearsing it to myself. I was just like, I'd set a timer and then just read through it. And I was getting through in about 4 minutes or so. You know, I added a couple things here and there. But then the video that Savina sent me, it was six minutes. So I was just I tried not to say anything about how long it was going to be leading up to it. Just that way I didn't have to trim anything out.
I figured it was going to go overtime, and I don't feel like I harped you on how long it was going to be. I just said the one time, like, try not to make it too long, because I figured it was going to go over, because it kind of always does when you are trying to do that, you know, because you stumble or people laugh or people clap or whatever. Yeah. And thank God I did tell you that, because if I didn't, you would have wrote a 10-minute speech, which would have turned into a 15 to 20-minute speech. There would have been no dancing.
I had the idea to say like, well, this was going to be a musical number, but Josh said there was a strict no guitars rules. Like, did he tell that to anybody else?
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, multiple people have told me since how great that speech was, Tom. So you did a great job. And for all the listeners, all 6 to 7, 8 of you, thanks, Ty, who also came to the wedding. Cole is an amazing friend, because he just moved to Florida the week before and then flew across the country, literally coast to coast, to make it to the wedding. So
I couldn't be more honored to be there. Thanks for including me. It was a really beautiful wedding too. It was just like it was a good time. Really enjoyed it.
He didn't give a speech and was lined up behind me.
Directly behind you, like right behind you. So I'm pretty close on the hotness scale. I'm 4.
It was a reverse order of hotness too. So.
No.
Poor Faith.
Yeah, she probably is the least hot dude of my dude.
Oh goodness. Okay. Cool. Well, yeah. So there's that. That was how we spent last week. It was freaking awesome. I guess that was the week before, wasn't it? Anyway, we're back at it with the podcast though. So I didn't get the chance to get your guys' ratings on the Mandela Effect. Like 1 to 7, 7 meaning it's bullcrap, 1 meaning you think it's probably a real thing happening. Like, what I mean is not a false memory, but a real... Oh, let me explain. The Mandela Effect is the concept that all of these group false memories represent some sort of like transversal of dimensions or realities or whatever. Like, you came from a reality where that was the case and now it's not, or something in the past changed. That's the idea. So that's what we're rating, 1 to 7. Tom?
I definitely think that there is this massive effect of people like misremembering. Do I think that there's a like a multiverse, and that we're in a alternate timeline where like we jump timelines and we're remembering something from our previous timeline? No, absolutely not. Are we in a what is it, like the Matrix? The what do they say?
Simulation.
What's the yeah? Are we in
Simulation.
a simulation? No, God, no. That fully skeptical. Are people silly and tend to misremember? Yeah, I could probably tell Josh, like with his bad memory, I could probably be like, "Hey, did you know Kobe Bryant had a baby brother that played in the NBA?" And he'd be like, I don't know, maybe. Like his memory so
See,
bad.
that's the opposite of how I am. It'd be more likely that he'd be like, "Do you remember Kobe Bryant?" I'm like, "No, I don't remember. I've never known Kobe Bryant." Tom is constantly having to be like, "Hey, do you remember when we went fishing and da da da?" And I'm like, "I wasn't there." And then he'd be like, "Yeah, you were. I remember you did this." And I'm like, "I wasn't there, dude." And then he has to convince me that I was at said event until he finally proves to me that I was there for that event.
Remember, you scraped your arm. Look at your arm. There's a scar.
Yeah.
Tom's really good with those like really specific memories and remembering everything that happened in a day. He'll be like,
He
"You remember?"
remembers what he was thinking on the way to it.
Yeah.
I remember I was really happy because I had just gotten tricks for the first time that day, and like, okay, man.
He was a kid. They're 4
Oh, that's great. Good stuff, man. Oh, so that's a 7, Tom. Fully skeptical
I'm fully
about the
skeptical of
yeah.
the yeah, of anything like, I don't know, paranormal or weird. Yeah.
Cool. Josh, what you got?
So it's a scale of 1 to 7, right?
Yeah.
7 being fully skeptical, 1
Yes.
being fully believing.
Yeah.
So I'm actually, so this is weird enough, but you'll probably find me closer to the one side on a lot of the stuff that finds us closer to like simulation theory
Interesting.
or that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I might be on like a 3.
Wow. Okay. Okay. That's pretty cool.
Where you at?
Interesting. So I guess because of how you guys have addressed it, I'll need to kind of break mine into 2 parts. 7 when it comes to any of the examples that are brought up of the Mandela effect, like them being examples of something in the past changing or realities changing. No, no good example of that has been brought to my attention. So 7 on all the examples. Do I think it is possible for things to blip across realities? I think maybe, and I'm fully credulous that there are multiple realities. The whole what's it called? The many worlds theory, the one where it's like because everything exists in every possible state at the same time and your reality is determined by a decision of which state is being observed, then it's like, and I think that's a fairly accepted idea. Because of that, then like all realities are happening like all the time. And I buy into that concept, the many worlds theory. And for things to be able to come across, I think maybe it's possible for this reality, which has been observed to contain these details, like something might happen where there are people who claim they woke up one day and then the this one example is this woman's like, this guy that I broke up with a year and a half earlier was living at my house. We were apparently still together. I didn't work where I worked. I showed up to my job and I didn't work there. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe. Like that lady telling that story, like it's a nice little piece of fiction as well, but I don't rule it out as something that could happen. But none of the Mandela effect examples are anything like more than fantasy and false memory. They're all silly. So I'm going to say 7 based on the examples that we know of.
See, when I say like I don't think I'd be a 7 on the stuff you just described, as far as like the multi-universe and crossing that stuff.
Okay.
I'm a 3 on like simulation
Okay.
theory. Like, we're in a simulation and something glitched and something went wrong there.
Okay.
And, my dumb way of explaining it is somebody, there was a glitch in the system and they backed up something wrong or whatever.
Yeah.
However I
Yeah.
would explain it. And they uploaded Steen instead of Stain, or vice versa,
Yeah.
to half of us.
Uh-huh.
And so something like that happened.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay. So the Mandela Effect examples, some of which we've already mentioned, but we'll get into more, that those can be explainable by something like simulation theory.
Yeah.
Cool. I dig it. You guys want to talk about the Berenstain one?
Yeah, just give me 1 sec.
Yeah, for sure. I'll just give an explanation while Tom's out. The idea is that the Berenstain Bears, which is a popular kids book series and then later an animated series, which we all grew up pronouncing Berenstein, and we all thought it was spelled Berenstein, like Stein. Turns out in reality it is spelled Stain, Stain, Berenstain. For some reason, we all grew up calling it the Berenstein Bears. We all remember it being written Berenstein, but the whole time, apparently, it was Berenstain. Now, this is the only one that's ever like tripped me up, like where I had to be like, "What? I have a hard time believing that." Like all the other ones, it's like, "Oh no, I can see where that went off the rails." But this one was tough. But like the conclusion that I came to is that it is probably at least partially the fault of the animated series, because the singer, the person who sings the intro, the opening, um, she says she's just a hick, and she says Berenstain in like the twangiest way ever, and it sounds like Berenstein when she says it. Berenstain Bears. And I'm like, I know I watched that show growing up, so that might have influenced me. But then also, at the time we were reading it as kids, I can't account for like what our parents thought. I don't know what they thought. But when we were reading it as kids, we had not yet come across like all kinds of last names from around the world, and names that end in Steen or Stein probably weren't like a staple to us yet. But like as you get older, virtually all the names that you become familiar with that sound anything like that, they're all Steen. They're all Stein. So by the time you've built up this corpus of names in your head, all ending in Steen, and then all you have to compare the Berenstain Bears to is that corpus, and you're dealing with your memory. You're not going back and reading the Berenstain Bears. You're just like remembering it. Of course, it's going to look like the thing that you're now very familiar with. So
Yeah.
that's all I got, but it's still weird.
And plus, when you, I mean, like I said earlier, you say Berenstein Bears in your head, it's spelled that way. It's
Right.
spelled the way you think it's spelled the way you think it is.
Totally.
You look at it, and that's why it's like your whole paradigm shifts, because you're like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
So I get
Is there another one that? Well, I mean, also, do you guys have any additional thoughts on that one? I guess.
It probably helps that we're the generation of watching that.
Yeah.
I'm sure that like adults aren't having their minds blown by this.
Probably not. Yeah. Adults, people that aren't like us.
Another one was the mirror on the wall one.
Oh yeah.
That one was weird because
that one is weird.
Repeated that, and it's magic mirror on the wall.
Yeah, that was weird for me too. I don't know how that one happened, but we all started misquoting that at some point. Any thoughts?
The
You guys
Pikachu
have a
tail.
first memory of that or anything?
That one just makes sense to me that it's magic mirror on the wall because it's literally a magic mirror.
Yeah.
But I've always remembered saying mirror, mirror on the wall.
Yeah. I think in Shrek they say mirror, mirror. And I'm wondering if, because that was what, 2001? We were pretty young. Um, excuse me. I'm wondering if that could have influenced us, or if that only said mirror, mirror because that was already the way that people quoted it. I have no idea.
Okay.
But that is a weird one.
The Pikachu tail. You know, like people remember that the Pikachu's tail was black tipped.
Oh yeah, that feels right to me. It feels like it should be black tipped, but whatever. I can see how I could be wrong about that. I think the same goes for any of them that are like the misspelling of brand names. Febreze, Fruit Loops, and then you have like the picture on Fruit of the Loom. They're all things where I'm like, it's not very compelling. Like you can see how that honest mistake would be made in your head. It's like you see a bunch of fruit all piled up. Like it's very common to see that image in tandem with a cornucopia. So it's like for your brain to think back and be like, oh, there was probably a cornucopia there. Like, yeah, that makes sense. It's fine. It's nothing too weird. The Pikachu tail, I think, falls into that category for me. Where I'm like, yeah, like it would make sense for it to have color on the tip of its tail, like he does on his ears, but I guess it's fine.
It does make me wonder when it's like a brand like Fruit Loops and Cap'n Crunch. Some people remember it being Captain Crunch, but it's always been Cap'n
Cap'n.
Crunch.
That's funny. I didn't know that one.
It wouldn't surprise me to find out that like the brands thought that this is just a way to get people talking about it.
Sure.
Would like just pretend that it's that it's or just not chime in and just let let there be discourse and let them chatter about their brand.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Any what do they say? Any what is good? What? That's the one. Thanks. Yeah.
Or the Kazam, and everyone remembered it as Shazam.
Yeah, I've got big thoughts about that one. What do you guys remember about that? Do you remember a Shazam or a Kazam, for that matter?
I remember Shazam.
Do you?
I remember Shazam.
I love that movie too.
I remember Kazam too. I that's one of those ones that blows my mind.
You remember both?
There is. Yeah, I remember Shazam. I remember thinking it was cool that Shaq was in there. And
that's Kazam.
Oh, Kazam, yeah. And then I remember Shazam too. I remember the big genie hat and everything.
This one is so nuts to me because I don't have a memory of a Shazam. Like I only ever saw the Shaq movie Kazam. I have thoughts on like how we could get this image in our heads of Sinbad being a genie. I have thoughts on how that could have occurred, but it's so strange to me how many people are so like, you guys remember the movie Shazam, and I'm just like, the most I can get out of it is like I can get how someone might momentarily misremember that, but I don't get how like you guys actually remember a movie. Like that's crazy to me. It's so weird. That one being so strong is like so weird.
I loved Sinbad back then too. I went through a strong Sinbad. That one, he was like the security guard for the
first kid. Yeah, that movie's great.
Jingle All the Way.
Oh yeah, he's the male guy. Oh, that's a good movie too. I try to watch that movie just about every Christmas these days. I've missed the last 2 Christmases, but I love Jingle All the Way. That movie's so fun.
That and JTT, pretty significant portion of my early childhood.
Yeah, dude. Speaking of JTT, the what's that movie? It's another one I try to watch every year.
Who's Home for Christmas?
Yes, I'll Be Home for Christmas. Oh my gosh, he gets left out in the desert with the hat glued on his head. I love that movie. Oh my gosh. Oh, good stuff, guy.
Wait, was he in Jungle to Jungle or was that someone else?
Oh. Holy
think
crap!
that's
I
someone else.
forgot about Jungle to Jungle.
I think because that's Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But that's
that's right.
similar to the one that Chevy Chase is in with JTT. That's
Yeah.
It's not jungle. He's not in Jungle to Jungle. Mimi Siku.
Or whatever.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys are bringing back such crazy memories for me right now.
Well,
Like
here's
stuff
gonna
that's
blow your
deep in
mind.
my
Those
brain.
movies aren't real.
I love when Mimi Siku would get a tarantula out and then you would shoot the flies.
Oh
Like,
my
dude,
gosh.
I'm gonna freaking be a little.
Oh. Oh yeah, this is nuts, man. My mind is like these are things I forgot existed, and my mind is going crazy right now.
You want to go crazy? Look up Paper Brigade.
Oh my gosh, bro. Okay, so I know the guy that directed that one. His name's Blair True, and he also directed Phantom of the Megaplex on Disney Channel. Do you guys remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
No. Okay.
That was a shit movie.
Yeah, they both were.
Tell him you said that.
No offense, Blair. I know you were working with Disney Channel. Your hands were tied. No, but did I tell you guys how a few years ago I was hired to be in a missionary safety video where they reenacted the bus accident that my companion had? Did I tell you guys about
I
that?
remember that.
I fuzzily remember that.
Okay, so they flew us down to Guatemala City. We did a reenactment of this accident, and it was like for like missionary safety training, and to show you how wrong it can go. Anyway, Blair True, the guy who directed those missionary safety training videos for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, it's the same guy that directed those movies on Disney Channel back in the day. A few of them.
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Here's a movie that'll blow your mind, Cole. Star Kid.
Oh, I know you like that one. You've talked to me about that one before,
That's
but
the
I
one
never
where he
saw
gets
it.
into that suit, and the backside of the face talks to him.
Yeah.
Dude, I loved that movie.
Me too. I loved it.
Never.
Josh, we have the Warriors of Virtue. We have a
Yeah.
special connection to that movie.
We watched that at Tom's birthday.
Aw,
I was like 7 or 8.
that's awesome.
Kids go down like a giant toilet in a water tower.
Oh boy.
They end up in this like alternate world with a kangaroo samurai.
Is that ringing a bell, Cole?
No, never seen this. But
Dude, it's
you know what it
awesome.
makes me think of?
It was great.
Terrifying as well.
Huh?
If you look at it, like, man,
Yeah, it's like basically kung fu kangaroos, and they're like warriors of virtue.
Okay, I'm
And
looking
they
it up.
teach this kid to stand up. They teach this kid to stand up to his bullies.
With kangaroo powers. It has Angus McFadden in it.
Yeah, we know who that is.
And Doug Jones. Okay.
what did he do the missionary training videos with you?
No, Angus McFadden is Robert the Bruce in Braveheart.
There's a sequel. The Return to Tao. Kevin Smith?
Oh, no way. Like the Kevin Smith?
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeff
Return
Ferrara.
to towel? What did they just get out of the water tower and towel off? Return to towel. All right, that was weird. That happened with the kangaroos. Let's everybody grab a towel and towel off and go face these bullies.
Oh, that's good. Oh, wow. I wonder if that's been happening the whole time. I'm realizing my ceiling fan is like making choppy light in my video. And it's probably been doing that the whole time. So this is going to be fun to edit.
Another girl that was in that, Marley Shelton. She's been in
A lot of stuff.
Oh, crap.
He was in
I
Bubble Boy.
also just realized I've been using my screen, the one that I'm recording, to look up these things. So I cut you guys out for a few minutes. Whoops.
It's all right. I think they know what we look like. you want to get some shots of just us going?
Yeah, go for it. Give me 30, 40 seconds. Okay.
Just cut,
Yeah,
cut
just
and paste that around one.
just unmatched audio. Just full Japanese dub.
It'd be a better production than Madam Web.
Oh my gosh. I still am gonna make myself watch it, but I haven't yet.
I
haven't
Heard
either.
it's, like,
I have.
absolutely terrible.
I don't know how it couldn't be. Like, look at what they're doing. Like, I guess honestly, even if you don't know anything about the character, like it looks bad. It's not just that it's doesn't resemble the character at all.
Yeah, there's a couple guys on TikTok that I really like and like kind of respect their opinions on stuff usually, and most of the time I always align with how they view or like feel about movies.
Yeah.
And both of them, they're like, I looked for, if you're looking for like the way they went about the review was very like amicable,
Mhm.
like, and it failed on pretty much every mark. Like, there's almost nothing redeemable about this. You're looking for good comedy and flying around and shooting web and nope, it's not bad.
Oh, that's funny.
I saw a clip going around
From the movie, where in like the final scene, there's like a bad guy or like the villain or whatever is here, and they come out of like at the top of a building in the car, and it's just like, it basically from where he's standing, he's not gonna get hit. And he jumps up and just gets blasted by his car.
Oh my gosh.
Just awful. Like it almost seems purposeful. Like in all the clips I've seen, it seems like they really tried to make it awful. To like, I don't know, they were trying to recreate the meme of Morbius, or I don't know.
I don't think they're that smart. I don't think they have the ability to knowingly do things like that. Tom actually sent me he was like, dude, look at who wrote this movie. And it was like a writing duo, and their body of work is so like, you're like, oh, I see. They've done nothing but just absolutely horrendous movies. It's like, who hired these guys to write anything ever? And after they did it once, who ever gave them a second chance? Like, this is insane. They are bad at their job. And you got to wonder if they just don't care. If they're just like, oh, it doesn't matter.
They've done
It sells.
Yeah, they've done like 8 movies, and their Rotten Tomato score is probably like 40% combined.
All got a question for you. When is a gift not a gift?
Hey, friggin' Dune. Nice.
Go.
When is a gift not a gift? The Emperor is what does he say? The Emperor is a jealous man. A dangerous, jealous
Maybe
man.
those people who really suck at writing movies that you guys are talking about, maybe somebody's like, you know what? I fucking hate these two. And let's just give them a huge chance so that I can ground them and never let them make another movie again.
Oh, it's funny.
Ever.
And it didn't work.
Well, they gave them a shot, and now that they made the worst movie ever.
Yeah, maybe this is the one that sinks him.
Yeah, that's what it is. One is a gift, not a gift.
Nice. I like that.
The way we can seamlessly talk about movies for a while makes me wonder why we're doing a podcast about Titanic.
Good point. So, on that, let's get back to Sinbad and his smash hit Shazam.
Wait, are we talking about the Mandela Effect?
Yeah,
because I thought for sure we were talking about the Mandela Effect. I fucked up.
Okay. Tell me what you guys think about this solve for Shazam Kazam. So there's 2 elements. There's the idea of Sinbad wearing a turban with a jewel in the front and possibly a feather and a robe and having a genie wispy bottom. And there's that image that people have in their mind, Genie Sinbad. And then there's the name Shazam. And I think that both of those, they're like separate false memories that both happen. And I think that Shazam is an easy enough one to stumble on because Kazam is like that word has only ever happened one time in that movie. So if you're searching the recesses of your childhood memories looking for the name of that movie, obviously the first thing that's going to come to you before Kazam is going to be Shazam, because you've heard Shazam in a billion other places since then. So it's frequent enough. You're like, oh yeah, that genie movie, Shazam, right? And by the time you remember that there's a genie movie called Shazam and you're trying to reconstruct it in your mind, I think this is what happens. You put Sinbad there because it doesn't necessarily happen in this order. It's not like Shazam, then Sinbad. But like, so I guess I'll separate them. The way you get to Sinbad in a genie outfit is because of his name, Sinbad. When you say the name Sinbad, there are only two images in popular culture that are associated with that name. That's Sinbad the Sailor, who is from like the Arabian Peninsula and wears that kind of garb. And then there's Sinbad, the comedian and actor who was popular in our childhood as an actor in children's movies sometimes. And so if you say Sinbad, it makes sense to me that you would conflate the only two images of Sinbad you have in your mind, and you would put Sinbad in that Arabian garb. So if Sinbad's wearing that Arabian garb, what's he doing? He's obviously not from Saudi Arabia. So it's like, oh, it's because he played a genie in a movie. And then, what was that movie again? Oh, yeah, it was Shazam. Because, of course, you're not going to remember Kazam. So I think it's just word association. You say Sinbad, those images conflate in your mind. You try to remember the name of a movie called Kazam. Of course, you land on Shazam first. That's my solve. What do you guys think?
I don't think like a mass of people would all put Sinbad over Shaq. Like in their minds, they wouldn't just use Sinbad as a placeholder. Like I don't know. Like at this point, it's like chicken or the egg. I don't know if I remember hearing about the conspiracy theory, or the theory that this movie happened first, or if I remember the movie first. It's like so jumbled in my mind that I probably just heard about it, and then like thinking back, it's like, oh yeah, sure,
Sure.
but it's not.
Yeah.
I'm going to amend what I said real quick. I think they are related, and I think it goes in the order of Sinbad, Shazam. I think the part of your brain that tries to remember and reconstruct who Sinbad was, like if you hear the name Sinbad, I think you get the image of Sinbad in Arabian old school garb, adventure garb first. I think you get the image, and from there, where do you place it? You're like, where did that come from? Oh, it was from that movie, that genie movie I saw as a kid. And that's how you get to Shazam. I think it's not a matter of remembering the movie and being like, oh, it was Sinbad in it, not Shaq, right? Because like you said, why would you make that jump? I think it comes from trying to remember who Sinbad is, and then it works itself back into a movie that never existed. Any thoughts, Josh?
Check out the chat.
Okay.
Wait, how do I?
Yeah, I couldn't figure out how to put pictures in there.
Pepco. Oh, it's not letting me put a picture in.
Is it a picture of, what's his name, Sinbad, gussied up as a genie? Also, I got a question for you guys.
Boom.
So
the reason why we remember it is because it is real.
No, it's not. I love all the reconstructions though. This one over here is my favorite. The one where he's got the blue.
There he is. Sinbad.
Shut up.
Sam.
Go over to the one with
Jonathan
the blue.
Taylor Thomas?
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
What the hell?
How did Jonathan Taylor Thomas
Make
two separate appearances on this podcast?
Seriously. Also, yeah, what the
How does he make two separate appearances on the same movie?
Why does everyone put him in that? Like, okay, that's just proof to me. Like, if anyone's out there going, oh, and I remember Jonathan Taylor Thomas being in it, that's just proof to me that it's just a hodgepodge of childhood memories. You know what I mean?
They just make him all buff. They put him in
Like on
shape.
Mike Tyson's
I'm
body.
like, yeah, something. It's like I don't know, some wrestler.
The one over to the left with the blue genie wispy bottom, to the left of that. Yeah, that's my favorite. No, sorry, you had it. Yep, there you go. That's my favorite image of it because it's like I could imagine that being real.
Yeah, that looked real.
There's just proof the Shazam movie. I don't know. Could be our answer.
Yikes! I got a question for you guys though. Uh, do you remember any single moment, scene, funny thing, anything from the movie Shazam, other than just like, oh, this movie existed?
No, nothing.
And I've never met anyone who does remember a scene from it. I remember specific scenes from Kazam. Like, I know that movie's real, but like, no one has ever been able to cite for me anything from the movie Shazam. They just remember it happening. And again, that to me is just evidence that, like, this isn't a reboot of our reality. It's not. There's nothing funny going on. It's just a garbled up, messed up group memory.
Yeah, that's 100% true. I don't remember anything, but I do remember from Kazam that he came out of a boombox, and that's hilarious.
Oh my gosh, did he come out of a boombox? That's hilarious, man. That's awesome. That movie was fun.
Unfortunately, I do have to wrap up. I have a hard out right now at
Okay,
noon.
cool. Yeah, that's good.
To wrap it up, I don't think my opinions changed because I don't think we like addressed too much of the that it could be a simulation theory thing.
Okay, yeah.
I'm still a 7 on it being like multiple universes,
Okay,
crossing over, carrying over different things.
yeah.
I think memory in general is a fuzzy thing. So that's all weird, but like like Tom was saying, everybody having a similar memory, just like he was saying, I think that's a perfectly plausible explanation, Cole, but a lot of people having a similar memory or getting to that kind of conclusion is a strange thing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so that's weird.
yeah.
So I still follow the 3 for my reasoning, but
Okay,
I
great.
agree with you guys on yours too.
I dig it. Tell me, where are we ending at?
I'm the same. I enjoyed our discussion about movies.
Yeah. I have some movies I'm gonna rewatch soon now because of this conversation. And I also, I'm staying at the same place, 7, about all the examples of the Mandela Effect. Now, the effect itself, I can believe that being possible. I just don't think any of these are it. That's all I got.
Okay. All right, Josh.
If you want to slip out, I want to bring one up to Cole.
Oh, sick. Okay. Dude, thanks,
All right,
Josh.
I will see you guys later. Bye.
See ya.
So we got a few minutes left in the call.
Okay.
I wanted to ask, do you remember hearing anything about it, a Mandela Effect with the Statue of Liberty?
No. What's that one?
I remember a couple of years ago.
What's the
seeing
Statue of
something
Liberty?
Oh. It's this big old bitch down in New York. No, there was this thing saying that there was a Mandela Effect about how saying that the Statue of Liberty moved locations, and then like I must have been on some weird video because it wasn't. I don't believe it whatsoever.
Mhm.
I just was checking to see if you knew anything about it because there were people like saying like, yeah, I had pictures of the Statue of Liberty, and when I look back at my pictures, it wasn't in the background anymore.
I don't buy it. I think anyone, anytime you hear someone going, that wasn't there when I took the picture or something, well, this is the opposite of that. That was there when I took the picture. they're kidding themselves. They're so full of it. Every ghost picture that's ever been like, that wasn't there when I took the picture. Like, you're an idiot. Like that wasn't there because what you're seeing is a motion blur. Like, like, I don't know. Anytime anyone pretends to be perfectly aware of their environment and to know what was present when they took a picture and using that as an excuse to call something that they weren't aware of paranormal, get out of here. This is a little different. The Statue of Liberty thing's like, oh, I know the Statue of Liberty was in that picture. It's like, maybe what you remember is trying to get the Statue of Liberty in the picture. I don't know. I don't think it's ever moved.
Yeah. So, one thing that's off topic, I'm gonna send it in and present so you can. Well, I don't. Hold on. Let me find a way. Please, that picture.
Where there's a Tom, there's a way.
There's something spooky.
All right. I like that.
Okay. Alrighty. All right. How do I present here? Present now. Image. Okay.
What you got?
You seeing this?
Yes.
You see this?
Yes.
Okay.
Quite
I
handsome.
won my fantasy football. Very handsome. I won my fantasy football trophy here.
That's my water bottle at the very bottom, the Dasani at the bottom. Also, my glass is on the middle shelf of that thing. That might be my hand grabbing popcorn. I don't know.
It looks like your hand.
That looks like my hairy hand.
Okay. Damn it. I don't know how to Okay.
Oh,
You see this here?
you showed me this. Yeah, it's pretty great.
Some ugly guy get his presence known at the wedding.
For anyone who can't quite obviously tell what's going on, Tom sees an eye, a nose, lips, maybe a double chin or something, basically half a face in the folds of this lapel here.
Nose, lips. Here's the chin, the neck, the dark eyes. Cool.
Yep. There was a spirit attached to my tuxedo.
It was kind of like a Voldemort and Professor Lupin situation going on here.
Is that Lupin? I don't think it was Lupin. I don't remember his name, but Lupin's the werewolf guy.
Oh yeah, you're right. Damn it.
But yeah, the dark arts teacher, dude with the hat.
Quirrell.
Okay.
Quirrell.
Huh.
Quirrell going on.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Does look like that.
Just lost our Harry Potter fibs.
You probably know more about Harry Potter than I do.
Just a spooky.
And that what you just pointed out is the standard by which all spooky photographs and videos thrive. They're all like, you see this thing that's unexplainable? And it's like, I'm sorry, it's very explainable. But yeah, I just don't get it, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that being said.
Well, we got under a minute.
Okay. Ross Allison, that ghost hunter guy, I was telling Josh about it. Anyway, he says he'd be down to come onto the show sometime. Dude. Yeah, and he's legit. He's yeah. Anyway, dude, thanks. Thank you, everyone, for joining us and watching our crazy off-the-rails conversation. Dang it! The call ended on me. It's okay. I should be paying for a non-time limited video call service. That's on me. It's on me, guys. But anyway, thanks for joining us. Sorry, Tom, that you got cut out of the outro. Yeah, we're at the point where we should probably be talking about whatever you guys want to hear about, because we're talking about all the stuff we want to talk about. And, from time to time, there's less accountability associated with that. And that kind of comes out. Like, we get off the rails talking about movies we saw when we were kids for 20 minutes. But you know, if we have a topic that is suggested by someone else, and we owe some sort of accounting to that person to make our way through that topic, I feel like it'd be a little easier to hold us to it and for us to do that. So yeah, anything you guys want to hear us dig into, feel free to comment and suggest anything, and we'll review. And if there's something that we want to do, we'll take you up on it. Anyway, yeah, thanks for tuning in. You guys want to go ahead and subscribe to our channel, and like this video, and comment with any thoughts. And what else? What else can you do? Oh yeah, you can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/skepdicks, and you can support us there. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.